When it rains, it pours in KwaZulu-Natal, quite literally. The province is yet to recover from the impact of the April 2022 floods, and recent rains have inflicted more damage to some parts of the province. Dundee is among the areas most affected, and that's where we find our reporter Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, good afternoon. You're about to tell us about the level of devastation there, or rather, show us.
Indeed, Dudu, it has poured here in Dundee over the past 5 days. And while there are sunny skies today, more rain is expected, and this is worrying residents here, especially in Dlamini village. We're going to take you into this house, which is one of the worst affected of the informal structures in this specific village. And my colleague Spongise Ngubande will show you how the wall of this house collapsed due to heavy rain. I'll also speak to Dudu Buthelezi about what happened when her house essentially a wall of it came down. Take a look for yourself while I also speak to Dudu Buthelezi. Now, as you know, these floods have been a regular occurrence over the past years. But Dudu, maybe let's just come a bit closer here and you can tell us about what happened on Monday night.
Ngomsombuluko kwenzeka kwafika imvula yana imvula kwawa indlu enengane encane lana ezalo mntanami manje angazi ngenze njani izindlu ziyavuza ziyawa zonke ngakhe ngodaka kwamongena amanzi ngonakalelwa na ukudla angazi manje ukuthi fana ngenze njani ukuthi kudliwani ene akekho sebenzayo manje kunzima la ekhaya konke kunzima ngisazi ukuthi fana ngenze njani nengane ezifundayo sibuye zingadli esikoleni nje angazi.
This happens on a regular basis here, Dudu. It happens every year.
Yes, kwenzeka yonke iminyaka angazi ngiziyadilika izindlu ngizame anginayo nemali yokuthi ngithola abantu abazongakhela ngumuntu osifazane ohlala yedwa lana manje akekho ozongakhela imali anginayo ngisebenzi manje angazi ukuthi ngizokwenza njani ziyadilika nje izindlu ziyawa zonke ngoba nale ngilala kuyona isengcupheni ingawa noma inini angazi fana ngenze njani nengane encane akusiye yami yomntanami kodwa isencane ziyang boy kakhulu maybe is 2 days ikhona angazi ngifana ngenze njani kodwa angazi amanzi angena endlini sikhiphe kufana izindlu ziwe angazi manje fana ngenze njani kodwa ngiyacela usizo kunina.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Dudu Buthelezi speaks about what she experienced here on Monday, and we'll just show you the damage here. There's similar damages around us and even in other parts of Dundee. Now, the rain fell over 5 days, and more rain is expected here as well as Newcastle, which is about an hour away. As you know, a state of emergency, a state of disaster rather, has been declared nationwide because of the flooding we've seen across the country, flooding just like this. And of course, it's to assist residents financially, but especially in this community, we heard from the local councillor who we'll speak to in the next hour or so about how this happens regularly. And despite the frequency of this, there has been no attempt by the local government to actually assist in terms of housing, to either move the residents to higher ground or help them strengthen their infrastructure to protect from the river that's just a short walk away, that will usually swell up out of its banks, burst out of its banks, and ultimately come onto these mud houses. There's an issue of poverty here because many people who live in the outskirts of the area come to the city looking for jobs. They can't necessarily afford housing, or there's not enough affordable housing available, and as a result they live in structures like this, which is of course becoming an issue when it comes to the inclement weather we're seeing on a daily basis. I asked one of the younger girls about the April floods we saw last year, and she was almost speechless, saying it was a terrible time. We know what happened in Durban, and here in Dundee it's flat land, so you can imagine that there was no way for the water to actually subside. That's what's happening here in the community of Dundee. It's a community also steeped in poverty, this area in particular, and residents need assistance, not just now after the floods, but they say long term they want to be protected from the inclement weather they're seeing so frequently.
And that's just it. Long term, they want to be protected. Karinda Jagmohan, thank you.